Hello, welcome to Bite Size. I'm your host, David Byrne. Today we're talking about the extraordinary cost of healthcare in America, the rising cost of pharmaceuticals, and what we can do about it. As always, we're going to keep this short and keep it bite size. What are the issues? Throughout the last couple of decades, we've seen arbitrary price hikes of drugs during acquisitions and sales of companies. We've also seen, as you can see in the top right-hand corner, an increase in the estimated launch costs of drugs that are being brought to market. They keep increasing over time. Some drops, but mostly a significant upward trend. We're also seeing the proliferation of cost increases because of pharmacy benefit managers, middlemen who act on behalf of insurance companies in order to negotiate drug prices. These pharmacy benefit managers are the ones who negotiate with distributors and manufacturers in order to set an agreed upon price. The problem is when they agree on savings and rebates, those get passed on to the insurance companies, not onto you. Let that sink in. They also line the pharmacy benefit managers' pockets. They got to make money somehow, so they make money off of these savings. There's no law requiring them to pass these savings on to you. And finally, pharmacy wholesalers. 83% of drug distribution in America is controlled by three companies. Three companies are setting the prices of drugs, who can get them, where you can get them, generally everything there is else to know. I'd call this a triopoly, and it's disgusting. So what can we do in order to bring down the prices of drugs in America? First of all, we need to look at shortening the patent length for drugs. Right now it's 20 years. And during that 20 years after filing the patent, the drug manufacturer could release a generic drug variation of their name brand. But what we're discovering more and more is that when companies do this, the generic drug is generally in the same price range as their brand name drug, something that you'd never pay the same price in any other industry. So we need to look at shortening that to 10 years. Additionally, we need to offer subsidies for small drug manufacturers and startups to bring more manufacturing capability to manufacture these generic drug costs. Manufacture generic drugs and bring these costs down. This is key for society. We're already getting screwed over when they're holding these patents, and we all know it. So why don't we just shorten the time that we're getting screwed over from the standard 20 years of a patent to 10 years of a patent? We need to require that pharmacy benefit managers, when they negotiate savings and rebates, these by law need to get passed on to the person actually paying for insurance. So we just need to make that a simple law, right? If you're paying for a service, you should expect to get the savings. It's that simple. I want to back up. So why are generic drugs cheaper? If you look at the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see those last three steps in the clinical process, animal testing, clinical studies, and bioavailability, are some of the most expensive steps in the FDA approval process. So why are generic drugs cheaper? Because they get to point to the same studies and say, look, what we're delivering is the same, and here's the bioequivalent. So they basically get to skip all that, saying, look, ours is equivalent, it's the same drug, so we don't need to do this testing. We need to enable more people to enter the generic drug market. When a patent is good for 20 years, even if there is a generic drug and you can manufacture it, you have to wait 20 years from the time a drug is discovered and created before a outside competitor can make a generic drug equivalent. That's just too long. Lastly, so let's jump back to pharmaceutical wholesalers. We need to create programs to encourage direct sales from manufacturers to end users. These are doctors, hospitals, etc. Even you as a person. I think of GoodRx. So I don't know their business model, but in my mind, you're able to buy direct drugs when you need them. It is atrocious that three companies control 83% of drug distribution in America, and that should scare you. So, with that, take a look at this slide, look over, really hope that I've given you bite-sized solutions to how we can bring down drug prices in America and the issues we need to address. Thank you. Please subscribe. helps the channel. Like, share with your friends. I really appreciate the support. Take care, everyone.